Thank you guys for waiting. So sorry for the delay this evening. As y'all know, I am new to going live to YouTube, so it took me a little minute to figure out how to get started this evening. Tonight we are talking about fear of your own power. Fear of your own power. It's going to be a really good conversation, so we're going to jump right into it. I do want to say first, though, that if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and set your notifications. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday night at the same time, 6:30 p.m. Central and 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So for all my love magnets out there that want to stay up to date and participate in the conversations, um, go ahead and set those notifications so you can always know when it's time. Um, Also, I do want to state my intention for the channel, for my YouTube channel. My intention is to help you, to help all of us attract the love in the life that we truly desire. And we are doing that by utilizing the laws of attraction. Also, my topic for tonight is fear of your own power. Fear of your own power. And this is a big one. This is a very common energy blockage. Okay. A very common energy blockage is fear of your own power. And we hear about this often. You hear people saying, calling it fear of success. That's another way to say it, fear of success. But I like to state it as fear of your own power because this is a very common phenomenon. It is our fear of being seen and heard. If you have ever had an opportunity to use a microphone, when you grab that microphone and the first time you hear your voice projected over a loudspeaker, it can be jarring. For most people, that's jarring, right? For most people, one of the most common, like greatest fears among people is speaking publicly. Why is that? Why is that? Public speaking is a huge fear for people. It's very common. Why? It requires you to be seen and to be heard. Okay? So this is extremely common. A lot of times it also can be manifested in ways that we're not thinking about. Okay? It can manifest in ways in our life that we're not thinking about, in ways that may not be so obvious as being afraid of public speaking. Okay, but a lot of times our fear of being seen and being heard is making decisions for us in our daily lives and driving decisions that we may make. And you guys, I made notes. I'm going to always have my notes available. So when you see me kind of looking down, that's what's up. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys not only good information, but I want to give y'all good information in an organized way. We're going to get in and we're going to get out. We're going to get her done. um, so we know that we want to start with stating our intention also for this particular episode of attracting love energy. Is what I'm calling my Tuesday night lives, attracting love energy. And I'm calling it attracting love energy because we utilize love energy for healing. Okay. And we're not just talking about romantic love. We're talking about compassion, being compassionate towards ourselves and others. Healing is a thing that propels us forward on our journey. And love is the thing that powers the universe, the energy that powers the universe. Okay. So, our intention for this particular episode is to draw your attention to the ways that Fear of your own power may be showing up in your own life, to shed light on the causes and to also give you some suggestions for clearing that energy or transmuting that energy. Okay, it's not always that we're wanting to clear the energy. Transmuting, which means using that energy and changing it for good, transforming it into something else, may also be the key here. Okay, so we know that the laws of attraction state that we are always attracting people, among other things, that match our vibrational frequency. Okay, that's huge. So you always hear me speaking from that perspective. So that means we're always going to look at the issue and then we're going to look at it in the mirror. Okay, we're going to ask ourselves meaningful questions to find out where is that frequency match. Okay, if we're attracting something, if something appears in our lives, it's something that we're attracting to ourselves, and we need to figure out where is the matching frequency in our lives. Okay, that's the only way to change what you're attracting. You got to face it. You got to examine what that is that you're drawing into your life, and figure out, how am I doing that? How can I change that if it's something that you're displeased with? Okay. So let's give an example of how fear of your own power may be showing up in your life. Fear of your own power. Fear of your own power. I know personally, this is something that I also have struggled with over the years. And it's something that I recently became very intentional about eliminating, about clearing, about transmuting, right, in my own life. And when I say recently, I'm going to say within the last year. Okay, I became more aware of areas in which I'm still afraid of my own power. And it's interesting because I've been able to accomplish some things in my life that surprised even me. I've been able to do some things that I'm like, whoa. I look back and I'm like, I did that. Mm-hmm. Sure did. But it's easy after you accomplish something to retreat back into fear in other areas of your life. Okay. So after opening businesses, for example, buying some homes I may not have thought that I would be able to, I still may retreat into fear. I found myself retreating into fear into some areas of my personal life. Okay. So, or in other areas of business as well, like when new challenges came up. Okay. So let's go over this. I'm going to give you some examples of ways that fear of your own power may be showing up for you in your life. Or this may just kind of shed light on the idea and make you think of, oh wow, this is how this is happening for me. So we're going to use career and relationships, for example, okay? Because as an energetic reader, these are the things that people ask about the most, okay? I'm going to start with career. So starting with your career. Choosing to stay in a job or career that does not feel meaningful, it does not feel purposeful to you, while simultaneously you are ignoring the abilities, the interests, the hobbies, your skill sets that do give you a sense of purpose and that are fulfilling for you. Okay, so giving all your energy to something that does not make you feel like there's a reason for you being here, to the degree that you are then ignoring or don't have energy left for the things that do make you feel alive. You may have all these ideas to do stuff, right? To do something. But then when it comes down to actually pulling the trigger on that thing, this fear comes up. This invisible wall comes up. Okay. Um, this also could be that you are doing what you love, but you're doing it in an environment in which you feel invisible, an environment that makes you feel stuck, right? This could be an environment where it feels like you're being underutilized. You're not seen. You're not going anywhere. You're not gonna, be promoted, maybe, right? Or they're not, you're not getting an opportunity to really use the full scope of your capabilities in this environment, right? So you get all these ideas like, oh man, I'm going to branch out on my own, or I'm going to, look for a position at another company, someplace where it seems like people are doing what I'm doing, but they're happy, right? You get all these ideas, you have this inner dialogue going about it, but when it's time to do it, you freeze up. You may find yourself feeling anxious or feeling scared, and you just kind of make excuses to not do it at all. Or this could show up in a way that you get started working on it, and then you make a bunch of progress. Then all of a sudden, it's like boom! It's like you hit this invisible wall. You get stuck. You feel unable to take the next steps, or you become confused. You start to feel disorganized. It may show up as brain fog. It may look like procrastination. But in fact, this is a way that fear of what you can accomplish, of who you can be, is actually showing up in your life. It could be that you get as far as an interview or a meeting with an investor, and then you find yourself acting goofy. You find yourself, being anxious or acting inappropriately, uh, joking. I think we've all heard of like nervous laughter, right? Or you may find yourself unable to gather your thoughts. This is a way that fear of your own power can show up for you. Okay? So now let's talk about relationships. Relationships. Okay? How does fear of your own power show up in your personal relationships? What does that mean? This can look like choosing friends or partners that do not really see you. Choosing friends or partners that don't really see you. People that do not acknowledge your best qualities. This is these people don't recognize or appreciate your best qualities. Okay. They downplay your contributions to the friendship or relationship, and the relationship is built around you giving yourself in a way or to a degree that you do not feel confident that they do match or would match were the roles reversed. Okay, so you're constantly giving, and you can't say for certainty that you are getting that in return or that you would get that in return, or even something equal to that way in which you give. It doesn't have to always be the exact same thing, right? Just because you watch your friend's dog or kids doesn't mean they have to watch your dog or kids. You may not ever need that. You may have that type of support you need in your life, but there may be something else that weighs just as much in your life. It weighs just as much as watching their kids for them or watching their dog for them. But when it's their turn to give, they're not willing to go outside of their comfort zone. It's a one-way street. We do these things, we make these agreements, these silent agreements inside of friendships and relationships as a way of avoiding our own power for ourselves. Think about it. Say you get in a relationship with somebody. You choose a partner. Now, your intention, this is supposed to be your partner for life, right? Who does not recognize your gifts and talents. Okay? If you're in a relationship with someone that does not recognize your purpose for being, you are not making space in your own life for your purpose for being. You are robbing yourself of an opportunity to have support in your life for your purpose for being. Right? There's no space created in your personal life for your purpose for being, then that purpose is not going to come to full fruition, because the support for that thing to occur, for that thing to unfold, for you to fully unfold, for your spiritual evolution, your self-actualization to unfold, the support's not here for that to happen. Right? So we're going to talk about some the corresponding chakras before we get into what are some things that you can ask yourself, some questions you can ask yourself to identify this and to begin to work through it. Okay? Now, let's talk about the energy blockages that cause this phenomenon of fear of your own power. Okay? And this is so common, you guys, that we are afraid to look at what we really are capable of. Okay? I'm gonna quickly give you a little story real quick. So for myself, I became very, very aware of this on a different level. And we become aware of different things on new levels all the time. Okay, let me say that. We may become aware of the same things about ourselves, but on a deeper and deeper level all the time. Okay, if you find yourself facing an issue in your life, it's a certain issue keeps coming back up for you, and you're like, man, I can't believe I'm dealing with XYZ again. Okay, do not beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up about that. You are going to face some of the same issues multiple times in your life. Multiple times in your life. Okay, you may only have a handful of issues that you're here to work out in this incarnation, right? But when you find yourself bumping up against this particular issue, a certain issue again, and you're like, man, I thought I already worked on that. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just look at it for what it is. Just hit it head on. Okay? Don't beat yourself up, because it may seem like, when that happens, we're dealing with the same things over and over again. We have a tendency to say, oh, I'm going in circles. I'm going in circles. Well, if you learned a lesson last time you were doing your work, and you learned a lesson before, and you're hitting that same issue again, but you're hitting that same issue, but on a higher level, you're not going in circles. You're going in spirals. If you only have, say you got a group, we're just going to throw out a number. Say you got a group of these same 6 issues that you just keep on running into over and over again in your life, right? It seems like the same 6 issues just keep coming up. I'm just throwing out a number, right? 6 issues. If you keep learning these same 6 lessons over and over and over again in your life, but every time you learn the lesson, you're learning that same lesson at a higher level, yes, it may feel like you're going in circles, but because you are learning those same lessons higher at a higher and higher level, you're actually spiraling upwards. This is called ascension. Okay? Do not waste your time or your energy beating yourself up about this. This is part of the work that we're here to do. Okay? So I hope that makes sense and I hope that's helpful. Give me some hearts in the chat if that's helpful, if that makes sense to you. Okay? Give me some hearts. Let me know that that is helpful. Okay? Now, this issue of fear of power, it came up for me one time. The way I saw it was I was clearing, I had a clearing planned, okay, with a buddy of mine, one of my brothers named Jit, okay, that lives in the UK. He is a light worker and he helped me. We do clearings for each other sometimes, okay? So Jit was about to do a clearing for me and he had sent me this picture. And Jit is of Indian descent and is from I believe it's Hindu background. I could be wrong, so if I'm saying this wrong, forgive me. But I think it's Hindu background. And he sent me a picture of this Hindu goddess. And she was, in the image, she had all these, some wildcats, some, not leopards, some tigers on a leash. She was walking and she had several tigers on leashes. And she was walking with so much power, so much strength and determination, and she was in control of these wildcats. Okay, it was an amazing image. And when I first saw it, my first inclination was to um like dismiss it, and like go past it and just go to the message that he had with the image. And something told me, go back. Go back. Don't dismiss it. I caught myself. Don't go back. I'm sorry, don't skip over this. Go to the, go back to the image and look at the image is what I told myself. I saw that image. It hit me so hard. It was like, oh my God, this image is so powerful. This is wild, and it hit me. As soon as I looked at it straight on, I was like, oh my God, I'm afraid of my own power. And that day I had planned on getting a clearing from my buddy on like being, procrastinating and feeling disorganized and, feeling this brain fog with some things I was trying to plan for my business. But once I saw the image and he was just sending some encouraging words and just sending encouraging words like, hey, I thought of you when I saw this and I want to confirm, our clearing today. But when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's me. That's supposed to be me. But I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of taming those wild beasts in my life. I'm afraid of being in charge. Okay? I just got a mental image of that. That Terrence Howard movie, and the girl's like, I'm in charge. I cannot think of the name of that movie right now. The one that song Hard Out Here for a Pimp. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. I'm in charge. Anyways, so of course a root cause of this, the most obvious cause is fear, right? It's fear. Okay. And fear can appear as a blockage for an issue that has to do with any chakra. Okay. You'll hear people say that fear is the lowest vibration. Fear is not the lowest vibration. Fear is 100 hertz. Okay. But fear can interfere with your sense of balance of any chakra. Okay. Also, this has to do with shame. It may very well be that you are feeling some shame, okay, which is 20 hertz. And if you go by the what's a very commonly used tool called the Hawkins chart or Hawkins scale or map of consciousness, map of our emotions. It shows different emotions with different, with the frequency of each emotion, and that's what I'm referencing here when I say fear registers at 100 hertz. So when we're talking about your vibrational frequency, right? Shame, that's 20 hertz. You'll find that at the bottom of that same chart. Just above that, but not as high as fear, is guilt. Guilt is another one. That's 30 hertz. Okay. Sometimes we are feeling guilt, like a survivor's guilt. You may feel something that is like a survivor's guilt. If your friends and your family, other people you know, are not doing quite as well, or not reaching for the things that you're reaching for, that can strike fear in you. That can cause you to feel guilty. And one of the most common thoughts that we hear in our mind is, who do you think you are? Right? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to try this or do that, to accomplish this, to achieve that, to reach for this? Who do you think you are? That is a very common tape that many of us have playing in our minds. Who do you think you are to do X, Y, Z? How dare you go against the grain? How dare you go against the grain? Okay? Who do you think you are to deserve X, Y, Z versus everyone else around you? If this is making sense, give me some hearts in the chat. Give me some ones in the chat. Let me know if this is helpful for you. Okay? If this makes sense, if this sounds familiar. Okay? Now, the ways in which this affects us is very key. It's very detrimental. It's very detrimental. Giving in to who do you think you are, giving in to that fear of seeing yourself in your full power can stop you, can prevent you, put distance between you and your highest timeline. If you are stuck in who you think you are, you are not going to reach for, you're not going to live in your highest timeline. It's not happening if you give into that fear of your own power and what you really can accomplish, what you really can achieve. Who do you think you are is a tape that's meant to put you in your place and keep you in your place. In your place, right? To keep you at a lower vibration. Now, you're gonna hear me talk a lot about mirrors and people in our lives, situations in our lives, mirroring back to us things that we are thinking, things that we are feeling, the emotions that we are feeling. Okay? And that's important because our vibration, our vibrational frequency, which is the energy that we're putting out into the universe, right? The energy field that is around us at all times, the energy that we carry with us, which is acting like a magnet and drawing more of the same toward us. Whatever energy, whatever emotions, because emotions dictate our vibrational frequency, okay? Whatever emotions are in our energy field, they are magnetizing, they're drawing more of the same to us. So it means if we're walking around fearful of who we are, we're going to draw people into our lives who are also fearful of who we are. You will also draw people into your life that are fearful of who they are. Okay? that's just how this works. Okay. I see some hearts coming through. Thank you for that. If you have questions, I want to see questions. Okay. If you have questions, please ask. All right. It's super important. But if you have questions about this, I'll be glad to answer. As of now, I don't see any comments popping up. But if that's what you're feeling, if that fear of who you are, the trepidation, lack of courage is in your energy field, you're going to draw more of the same to you. Okay? And this is super important because this prevents you from living your life and doing your spiritual journey out loud. Your spiritual journey is comprised of your mental, your physical, and your emotional, the happenings in your life, the unfolding, the evolution, all of these things comprised in one. That is your spiritual journey, the things you dare to do, the things you dare to go after, the things you dare to reach for and live out. Living your spiritual journey out loud attracts people to you that you actually need along the way and that are actually meant to help you along the way, to encourage you and to help you step into the real you, to step into your full power. Therefore, your spiritual journey is your mating call. That's how I want you to look at this. Your spiritual journey is your mating call. Okay, and we think of all the animals in nature. Yes, imposter syndrome. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you think of people animals in nature, they all have a mating call, some noise that they make that calls in their mates. That's us when we're being our full selves, full out. And it's not just your life partner, your mate, in the sense of romantic relationships. This is also business partners, friends, people who are supposed to just appear to help you. They may assist you. They may give you some advice. They may give you some information. They may give you a donation. Your tribe, exactly. You're calling in your tribe when you show the real you. When you allow who you are on the inside to show on the outside. And it becomes apparent on the outside, that inner person that you're having all this great dialogue with on the inside. Oh, I could do this and I feel like I could accomplish this. And you see this great version of yourself. But how often are we not allowing this great and capable version of ourselves to show up on the outside for the rest of the world to see? Living your journey full out. Stepping into self-actualization, becoming your full self. Your spiritual journey is your mating call. Okay? I want you guys to really hold on to that. All right? You're calling in the people, your tribe, your family that you're meant to do this journey with in some capacity. We're all here on this earth for each other. Nobody's supposed to do this journey alone. That's not how it works, right? We're all down here just bumping into each other, giving each other's opportunity to show love and compassion, to help one another, to help each other get further ahead. We're bumping into each other, giving each other learning opportunities to evolve. That's what we're here for. We're all here for each other. Okay? So, if you find yourself in a job situation, for example, we talked about earlier, it may be a career, it may be a relationship in which you feel unseen. The chakras that may be blocked for you, one of them may be your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is your center of expression, expressing yourself. If you feel yourself unable to speak up, this could be personally or professionally. You find yourself unable to speak up, to speak your mind, to express yourself, that is a throat chakra blockage. If you find yourself experiencing a creative block, you've heard of writer's block. There's all type of different creative blocks, creative blockages. You feel like you just can't access your creativity that you know is there. That may be a throat chakra blockage. One of the symptoms would be a tightening in your throat area, or the feeling that they call having a lump in your throat. It could also be having a sore throat often, right? A throat chakra blockage, throat chakra also has to do with hearing. You may find it difficult to hear other people's ideas and to take in other people's ideas. So if you're in a situation where you're feeling like your true gifts and talents are not being appreciated, are you able to appreciate others? That's a great question to ask yourself, right? Because there's always a matching frequency somewhere in your energy field. The people and situations that are showing up in our lives, they were attracted here by a matching frequency in our energy field. So when you feel unappreciated, ask yourself, do I really appreciate them and their gifts and their talents? Or even better question to ask yourself, do you appreciate you? If you feel unseen, do you see you? Especially when you find yourself feeling unseen in more than one place. It's not just in my relationship, it's in my friendships, it's in my family relationships, it's in my job situation. I just feel invisible to people. If that's you, do you see you? Ask yourself that question, because that's what's most important. Do you see you? Do you see your value? Do you take yourself seriously? Are you willing to invest in you by studying, maybe going back to school, reading, spending time, developing those characteristics about yourself that you feel like are unseen? Do you take you seriously? Do you value those things about you? Okay, that's a big one. Another one, another chakra that may be blocked if you are having a hard time accessing your creativity now, especially if you are talking about creating something new. Not just, a lot of times we think about creativity, we're thinking about like maybe something artsy, something like singing or dancing or something, like that type of stuff, self-expression. But when we're talking about the type of creativity that is creating something new, such as creating a new business, creating something from nothing, right? That type of creativity rests in the sacral chakra, creation itself. The sacral chakra is located in the womb, okay? So if you are cut off from your womb energy, from your sacral energy, and yes, men still have sacral energy, even though they may not have a physical womb, okay? This is our ability to create something new, create something from nothing material. You may have a sacral chakra blockage if you feel yourself cut off from that. So if you're in a job situation and you're like, man, I have this new whatever. If you're an entrepreneur, there's something new, some way in which you need to create a new wing or aspect of your business, or create a new business. Or maybe you have a job and you've got some project that you've got to execute, and it's going to cause you to have to create something from nothing, and you're feeling blocked, like, oh, I don't know where I'm supposed to pull this energy from, nothing's coming to me. This can be a sacral chakra blockage, when you're feeling cut off from your ability to create. Okay? So you want to begin to delve into What are the blockages really about? What is this stemming from? Where is this energy trapped? One of the ways that you can identify that is when you think about it, when you think about the problem, the thing that you can't seem to do, where do you feel that in your body? Think about it. When you say, oh, I just don't know where to start with this project. When you think about it, notice the feelings in your body. I don't know what to do next. Where do you feel that in your body? The chakra is located in the womb space. I see the question. Thank you, Bamboo. So that is located in your womb space. So when you think of the issue and you feel energy, it may feel like movement. It may feel like a heavy weight. It could feel warmth. It could feel like emptiness. It can feel a lot of different ways, but when you feel tension, you feel something there in a particular area of your body, that is the location of the chakra that is blocked for you or that is out of balance for you. Okay? So, another chakra that this can have to do with, especially when it comes to career stuff, is the solar plexus chakra. Okay? I most commonly think of the solar plexus chakra as being about a balanced solar plexus chakra is prioritizing your being over your doing. Okay? Prioritizing being over doing. Okay? And what I mean by that is more so than being focused on, oh, I can accomplish, I can do. Who am I going to be at the end of XYZ, right? If I have this thing set in front of me to do, who am I being or becoming in the process? If I'm becoming someone that's really cut off from myself and cut off from my own pleasure, cut off from my own voice, cut off from my own goals and my own purpose for life by taking this route, then I'm more focused on the doing and the accomplishing, right? Hi, Blue Lotus. Thank you for joining us. So good to see you. We're talking about fear of your own power. So if you are on a route that there's so much focus on on doing versus being, then perhaps that is not the route for you, or the way that you're going about it is out of balance. It's reflective of a solar plexus chakra imbalance. Now, our solar plexus is also about the energy that we get from the light of the sun. That is what that chakra is named from. It's named for. Solar plexus. Solar means coming, in and of, originating from the sun, the energy that we get from the light of the sun. Plexus means a center, okay, a convergence, okay, and it's literally a bundle of nerves. There's also melanin stored there, okay. So this is also our personal power center, okay. This is our personal energy grid. So if you're feeling like, I know I have this hidden power, I have these abilities to do certain things, but I find myself unable to act on those things, that may be an underactive solar plexus. Whereas it's like, I'm on the other side, if you have an overactive solar plexus, you may be doing all the time and still feeling unaccomplished. Or you're pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion. Okay, if you all have questions, please ask your questions in the chat. I'd love to answer your questions on this. Okay, sometimes we can overdo and really be ignoring what's in our heart, what it is we feel like we're really here to do. We're making ourselves busy doing other things because we know I will see myself in the fullness of my power if I go and do this thing that I really feel like I'm meant to be doing. This is what I'm here on the earth to do. But I choose to go do what people tell me that I should do. I choose to go after people tell me I should want. I choose to go and follow, what my family expects of me, instead of pursuing what I'm really here to do. I may be using the excuse that, well, I'm just doing what I have to do because I got all these bills to pay. You really can carve out some time to start something that you're passionate about and start making steps towards your purpose. You can. You can. You may have to sacrifice something, but you can, right? Blue Lotus says, pleasure has been bringing me back into my body. Yes, when I listen to my body, I'm blessed each time. Exactly. Your body is always communicating to you, right? Communicating what you need or what you don't need. Our body is always giving us signals. That's part of the reason why I'm saying, listen to your body. Notice where you feel it in your body when you think about the issue, the blockage, whatever it is you're struggling with, right? That's also why when I was talking about, giving a definition of your spiritual journey or your spiritual evolution, I'm talking about the convergence of the physical, mental, and emotional, right? The physical, mental, and emotional aspects of you, the unfolding of that. That's spirituality. Okay. Um, Now, ways to clear and transmute this type of blockage. Are there questions before I give my suggestions? If you have any specific questions, please go ahead and give those. You can give them now or as I give my suggestions. Now, let's talk about clearing this energy blockage or any energy blockage versus transmuting. Let's talk about the difference, okay? A lot of times mostly we hear about clearing energy blockages, which is meaning, speaking of eliminating unresolved trauma that's trapped in your energy field. Okay. An energy blockage is unresolved trauma trapped in your energy field. Okay. When we're talking about energy, anytime you hear me say energy, just think emotions. Okay. Think emotions. All right. Our emotions do produce an energy that literally reverberates, emits out from our body into this, what people call an aura, which is also a scientific term. It's known as your biomagnetic field, right? Your energy field holds your emotions, okay? So unresolved trauma is what we're referring to as a energy blockage. Now, what type of unresolved trauma can cause fear of your own power? We touched on one of the options, one of the things that can cause it earlier when we're talking about, hey, might you be suffering from survivor's guilt? So living in an impoverished area or living in a community where people are cut off from their options to pursue their dreams and their passions and their gifts, that is traumatic. It is traumatic. If you have not had that validated for you, let me be the first to validate for you. That is traumatic because we all came here for a reason and with an intention to fulfill a certain purpose on the earth. And when that is squelched, when that is repressed and oppressed in you, that is traumatic to your spirit. Okay? The human spirit craves expansion. The part of our spirit that is the creator is always craving expansion. Always. The universe is always expanding. The nature of our creator is to be ever expanding. So when we're in alignment with that, we are ever expanding. So when something happens where someone is intentionally repressing your ability to expand, that immediately starts to feel suffocating for us. It is against the human spirit. Um, confinement, whether it's a situation or like literally like a physical confinement or like situational confinement, the circumstances of your life, that can be traumatic. When people around you are not able to see themselves in the fullness of their power, then being in a position of power, being successful, pursuing success can look like and feel like a dark place for you. The idea of pursuing your goals and dreams can seem like a dark and lonely space for you. Subconsciously, you may be thinking and feeling, well, when I get there, there'll be no one there to guide me. There'll be no one there I know. I'll be all alone because no one that I know has pursued success and succeeded. Right? That may seem like a dark path, a dark and lonely path for you. And as humans, we don't naturally feel drawn to dark and lonely places. We're social, right? Now, when you clear an energy versus transmuting an energy, clearing is getting rid of that unresolved trauma. Just totally getting that out of your energy field. I don't want to feel that anymore. I don't want that to resonate with me. I don't want to have any attachment to that hurt, to that trauma, to, that bad thing that happened that told me that I'm supposed to stay confined within this box, within these limitations in my life. Okay? Yes, we're going there, Blue Lotus. So that's clearing. Clearing is just totally dissolving, getting rid of there's several ways to do it. I don't intend to go super, super deep on this channel on teaching you how to do the work. That's not what Tuesday nights are for anyway, right? But we want to talk about it and talk about the possibilities, right? Now, transmutation, transmuting the energy. If you have read a very popular book called The Alchemist, you may already be familiar with this process. Transmutation is alchemy. Alchemy is turning lead to gold, as they say, turning something worthless into something very valuable. Okay? And it's said that the way to turn lead into gold is to apply enormous heat. High degrees of heat, right? Until you burn away the impurities. Okay? So doing your work along your spiritual journey by asking yourself some quality questions, digging to discover where is the matching frequency, what is the matching frequency in my energy field that is that is attracting people that don't appreciate me, people that don't see me, people that don't recognize my gifts, my skills, my talents, my abilities, my best qualities, my purpose, my mission, my reason for being here, my value, right? What is the matching frequency in my energy field that's attracting that? Do I see me? No, I'm not really taking me serious. Therefore, I continue to attract people that take me for granted, or don't see me at all. Asking yourself those questions. Okay? So transmutation is taking that energy and purposely using that energy, that hurt. You recognize the problem, you recognize the trauma, and focus on that energy, and use that same energy and turn that into determination. Like, hey, I'm going to use the way somebody took me for granted. I'm going to take that feeling, and perhaps you do it in meditation. Go into meditation and say, you know what? I'm identifying that feeling. I'm being real with myself. I may even give that feeling a shape and a color. I'm giving you some clues on how to do it. Give that feeling a shape and a color. Think of it as a shape and a color. Say you turn this into a yellow ball. Solar plexus energy. Say you take this solar plexus injury, for example, and you think of, oh, the fact that the way this job has skipped over me time and time again for a promotion. I think of that happening. I think of that as a yellow ball. I'm then going to bathe this yellow ball in love energy. So I may picture it being cleansed by a green light. Green represents the heart chakra. It represents compassion, human compassion. Okay? Love, compassionate love. Bathe that yellow ball in light and allow yourself to feel the feelings of love and compassion. Love and compassion for who? You, yourself. Gratitude for those gifts and abilities that they keep overlooking. Envision that. Allow your body to feel it until that feeling is the dominant feeling and you feel it greater than you feel that feeling of being skipped over. Stay with it. Stay with that feeling of gratitude. Allow that yellow ball to spin until it burns up. Right? Until the impurity, those old feelings of feeling taken for granted, until they're gone, and all that's left is the gratitude for yourself. Turn that feeling into a determination to now go and invest in yourself. Invest in, it may be just investing time in reading, gathering more information that's going to help you improve your skills, to become more highly visible, to become better at what it is that you do. Investing time in looking for another job, another position, networking with the right people. Determination to improve yourself, appreciate yourself, see yourself, take yourself seriously in the ways that they never did. Picture yourself doing that in your meditation. As that ball spins, now the ball, instead of being this big ball of ingratitude and, disgusting feelings about how you're treated, now this is a ball of determination for what you're going to do to improve yourself. How's that in your solar plexus, which is just above your navel but below your sternum? Okay? Transmutation. That is an example of transmutation. You can do this in meditation. Okay? So you intentionally create that feeling for yourself and go and do it. Execute. If you need to repeat the meditation until you have the strength to execute. Okay, that's an example of transmutation. Okay, so yes, focus. Yes. So this is something that we talked about in depth in my private Facebook group for my class, 7 Centers of Attraction, because we talked about it in depth in the class, 7 Centers of Attraction. Okay, you guys hear me talking about it and advertising and offering opportunities to become a part of 7 Centers of Attraction. It's a class where we talk about learning your chakra system, learning how to change your vibration, learning how to clear and transmute negative energies so that you can, in turn, you can begin to attract the love and the life that you truly desire to live out. We're all here to live out something. Okay. So, do we have any last minute questions before we get off of here? Thank you so much for the viewers in the chat offering the support and making the conversation interesting. Thank y'all so much for joining us for our topic today, which was fear of your own power. Don't forget, you don't have to bow down to that. You don't have to allow the fear of your own power to keep you from living your highest timeline. Don't forget that your spiritual journey is your mating call. Don't forget that. Your evolution, doing your spiritual journey out loud, living the unfoldment of your soul out loud, attracts the people, the places, the circumstances to you, into your life that you need to actually complete the journey, to fulfill your mission, to become the best version of yourself. Your spiritual journey is your mating call. Don't forget that. Okay? It's going to call to your life partner. It's going to call to your friends. It's going to call in your tribe. It's going to call in the people that are here, that you're here to teach, that are here to teach you, right? Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so important to allow the version of you that you sense is there on the inside, the highest version of yourself, allow that to become apparent on the outside. Take the steps needed, okay? Focus on love. Focus on compassion for yourself first and then others. Raise your vibration to the frequency of love to attract love energy for healing, love energy for abundance. Thank you all so much for joining me. I've greatly enjoyed this, greatly enjoyed talking with you all. We'll be back every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Attracting Love Energy. This is Pangea North Star, and I'm signing out. Y'all have a good night. Bye.